They have their fingers in every pie in our country. And I'm telling you. And they want to maintain it this way. Sometimes you ask yourself, did they come into power to rob the nation? Do they ever think about the people who voted for them into power? No. Obviously they don't. We have a very onerous responsibility. We need to give Ghanaians hope. We need to let the electorate know that you cannot be a leader unless you have people following you. And that the resources of our dear nation should be used solely for the benefit of the ordinary people. Leadership is about one thing, and in our case, improving the lot of Ghanaians. That is all. That should be the only preoccupation. Nothing else. But what do we see? Buying hotels, getting engaged in cocaine. Look at it. When we started talking about the drug issue, they said we were crying wolf. Now you have a member of parliament languishing in jail here. He brought into this country $6 million worth of heroin. Of course, his intentions must have been very clear. If he had succeeded by now, he would be, is it the 22nd or 23rd presidential candidate for We had by-elections in his constituency in Kranza, and we had heard stories of how he pumped money into that area. Now, there is only one thing we worship in Ghana, that is money. So sad. It doesn't matter how you acquire it. Now, if you read some of the newspaper stories which come out by mistake, their presidential candidates are just going around buying delegates. Money is not a problem. Money is not an obstacle. And yet, these were people who 7-8 years ago were almost indigent. Where have they got the money from? They are flaunting their wealth. And Ghanaians have begun to ask questions. They want an alternative. And we should provide that alternative. But we should be guided by the experience that is being established now. You cannot go into leadership position and do the same thing. We have struggled when we came out of power in 2001. But by the grace of God, all of us have been able to get settled. You are not now going into government to try and make hay while the sun shines. Put something aside for a rainy day. The rainy days have gone. Yes. This will therefore be a period of sacrifice. Now, I heard my good friend Osafo Manfo praising himself to the high heavens, saying that he's the only person who can beat Atanas because he's the manager, he's done this or that to the economy. My brothers and sisters, cast your minds back. When the PNDC came into power, our economy was recording what? Negative growth. All the structures had collapsed. More than 3 million Ghanaians left Ghana. Toilet roll was a luxury at the time. If you wanted to buy clothes and you went to the market, the only indication was that they would give you broomsticks. And the broomsticks would be a pointer to what they were going to give you. PNDC did its best. NDC for 8 years decided to repair the damage. We had financial sector reform. We decided to introduce democracy in the first place. We decided also concentrate on infrastructure, education, on Medicare. We have 3 state-of-the-art hospitals in Ghana. They compare favorably with hospitals anywhere, in Cape Coast, Ho, and Sunyani. Education, we have 3 universities. We increased the number to 5. We decided that there should be a polytechnic in every district. Now, when Osafo Manfo comes and boasts, I ask him, at the time when he was chairman of NIB, managing director of NIB, how much by way of taxes were we collecting? We decided to revamp the revenue collecting structure. How can a minister of finance operate if you are not able to collect revenue? I was for 8.5 years the Commissioner of Internal Revenue. It was my period of national service. We did that to strengthen the foundation for them. At the time that they now, this is one government which has enjoyed more resources than any other government. And they have not been able to account for the resources. And you know the reason why they forgave us our debts? It was because they said that Ghana had become a model of democracy, good governance, etc., etc., and that Ghana must be encouraged. What prompted this decision? The fact that we handed over peacefully to them. Yes, the first time. And they thought that Ghana has now settled. So let's give them all the help that they want. This is the reason. And mind you, they also forget that because they wanted us out, in 2000 they wanted us out because they thought that that was a good opportunity for them to change governments, and that would be a positive signal to the rest of Africa. Cocoa price went from 1,800 a ton to 700. Gold went down. We had problems with Ashanti gold fields at the time, while oil prices went up. When you have a monocrop economy like